Yes, people. As international football is upon us right now, like we've got nothing to do. So I thought, why can't I make legendary Liverpool players videos, like explain what their honors are, individual honors, and what they did for the club. So this is what I want to speak about right now, and the player I want to speak about is as it follows. So yes, enjoy this. Please do me a favor, hit the subscription button, notification button, like button, all that good stuff. Let's do this. So, as you can see on the screen, the player I want to talk about is John Barnes, Liverpool hero, Liverpool legend. If you haven't seen this player, you won't know a lot about him, if you know what I mean, people. Like, a lot of people judge players without knowing what they actually did in the game. That's what I want to put out there. Well, when I was growing up, John Barnes was our hero. He was the best player we've ever seen at Liverpool Football Club at that time, and what he was doing with the ball is just amazing, out of this world. And he hasn't got a lot of credit for it. People, like, when they talk about John Barnes, they talk about the John Barnes of of the 90s, mid 90s, who was a DM. But he wasn't a DM when he first started at Liverpool. And when he was at Watford Diva, he was a flying left sided midfielder. You could say a winger, but it was a bit of both. He could dribble, he could cross the ball, he could create as a playmaker, and he could score a lot of goals as well. This player, when I was growing up, he was everything to us. I've never seen a player like that in the British game since, to be fair. Like, it took us over 30 years to find someone close to him, which is Sadio Mane, which says enough about the player John Barnes was, because we've always wanted someone similar to him. We tried Harry Kewell, Albert Riera, so many players down the years. It just didn't work out until Sadio Mane came and showed us that left-sided position is very, very important. John Barnes, to me, is the best player I've ever seen at Liverpool Football Club. A lot of people can have their own preference, but to me, he was the best player I've ever seen. He could do everything. He had it all. There isn't anything you could say about John Barnes that he didn't have. He had pace, he had power, he had crosses, he had finishing abilities, he had creativity in abundance. He's both footed as well. If he doesn't score with his left foot, he will score on his right foot. I mean, it was a mixture of Ryan Giggs, if you say, and David Beckham. I mean, David Beckham brought the crossing game to another level, but John Barnes was doing that in the 80s with ease as well. If you look at John Barnes, Aldridge, and Baines, that partnership back in the day, it was just out of this world. That's why I've always said I've never seen a better Liverpool team than that one. But yeah, we're gonna speak about something else about him as well. So let's continue. So now I want to speak about, obviously, John Barnes, what he won as a player, and at Liverpool Football Club, and what he won as an individual player as well. He's a highly decorated player. People don't look into things like that. I've always said it before. Like, if you look at the current game, look at the past first. A lot of us are talking about the current players and what they do as individuals and how good they are. But if you look at the past players, majority of them are the reasons why these players play football, and majority of them is the reasons why these clubs have history, if you know what I mean. So history does matter, whether you like it or not. History does matter at a football club. They call us the history club, Liverpool Football Club, but without it, what are you? Now you can see the likes of Arsenal talk about history. You see the likes of Man United talk about history when there's no trophies coming in their cabinet. So, like I said, history does matter. Always think about that. So now we're going to be talking about John Barnes at Liverpool Football Club, what he did for the football club in general, like as an individual, and what he's won for Liverpool Football Club. So let's start with the first slide, which is club honours. As you can see, people, he's won 2 league titles and 2 FA Cups and 1 League Cup. He was part of that team that won the last league title. We won the Premier League with, obviously, Jurgen Klopp. But if you look at the past league titles, he was part of that team. it was an incredible team back in the day. If you know what I mean. Like if you look at the 87 onwards to 1990, it was just out of this world. That team, if they played in the Champions League, we probably would have had some more Champions Leagues in that cabinet. If you know what I mean. It's just unfortunate. It was banned for 6 years. You know, like other clubs in the Premier League as well. So it was sad. It was sad not seeing them in the Champions League because a lot of people talk about Real Madrid winning the 14th Champions Leagues and all that stuff. But if Liverpool wasn't banned from Champions League, how do we know how far we would have got? Or European Cup at the time? How would we know? How would we know like how far we would have got? As you can see, people, he's won 5 trophies at Liverpool Football Club. In his latter years, when he was in the central midfield position as a DM, it wasn't the John Barnes we knew. Let's be honest, man. Come on, it wasn't the John Barnes that we knew. Let's be realistic here. Yeah, so let's look at the individual accolades. As you can see, people, he's won PFA Player of the Year in 1988, and Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year in 1988 and 1990. And he's been part of PFA's first division team of the year, as you can see, 3 times. So this guy is a very, very impressive player as it is. And then you can see inducted into the English Football Hall of Fame in 2005. So it shows, this guy that is up there with the greatest players that ever lived. So don't ever underestimate him, if you know what I mean. We talk about current players, the way they are, the way they play, and best player in the world and all that stuff. But John Barnes, man, he's in the history books, and he is one of the greatest players that that ever graced Anfield. So I always say, look back in history, people. Then you know how good these players are. If you're a football person that loves football so much, you need what I used to do is go back in history, watch from 1950s onwards or something along those lines, whenever TV was around, then you see the players, how good they are, instead of like prejudging them, without knowing who they are really. If you know what I mean. I've seen a lot of people talk about Maradona, they downgrade him, they said this player is better, that player is better. They talk about Neymar. I've watched Neymar. I don't think, he's up there with the greatest players that ever lived. But some people say he's because he's the all-time top scorer for Brazil now. He's taken over from, Ronaldo and Pele. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what it is, people. So each time I'm going to bring you this kind of streams, if you know what I mean. Great, Liverpool players. So we're going to have another one after this. International football, there's nothing to do. What are you going to talk about unless there's a breaking news? Nothing. So let me bring these little videos for you guys, just to understand each player and all that stuff and what they want at Liverpool Football Club. For you, to go back and watch him and see how good he was, if you know what I mean. Yes, people, that's me. Please like, share, and subscribe like I always say. We're on the road to 2000. I appreciate that. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.